Let's begin today's Vanguard news with the official Japanese Vanguard YouTube channel promoting its membership perks like the anime's original soundtrack that most people will re-upload anyway, smartphone wallpaper and visual portraits for people who don't know how to use image editing software to make their own, and the typical membership perks like badges and emotes that are too small in YouTube to see. Take note that this is only for the Japanese Vanguard channel. No information if the English Vanguard channel will do the same membership perks. Because Bushiroad knows that Harry sleeves won't be as lucrative as the sexy vampire lady, they decided to also release some Luna and Am sleeves despite the boys never getting sleeves when their Stride deck set came out. Vert and Coral also get sleeves, because of course they would. Get those pointy pencils extra sharp as the video thumbnail indicates. This week's reveal has some of the spiciest LSR artwork in EZLBT01. Convivial Evening Rasky while on rear guard lets you put a card from your drop zone into your soul, and she gets 5k power when she boost, and you played a magazine order this turn. This is honestly just a way to make Kyouka's skill be usable in the rare instance you run out of soul. Photogenic Find a Turn while on rear guard during your turn gets 5k power if you played a magazine order this turn. And while on rear guard, you can pay 2 energy and putting herself into your soul if you played a magazine order this turn to either call up to 1 card with a different name than herself or add up to 1 magazine card from the top 7 cards of your deck. Introducing Stra but with more cost, more restrictive conditions and less power for 2 additional top card checks. Make-A-Wish Kyouka is also regarded as Make-A-Trend Kyouka. While on Vanguard during your turn, all your front row units get 5k power if you played a magazine order this turn. Then all your Kyouka units in the central back row can attack and get 5k power if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher. And once per turn while on Vanguard, you can pay 1 Soul Blast and 2 energy to declare a grade from 1 to 3, then add up to 1 card with the declare grade, or up to 1 magazine order from the top 5 cards of your deck. Bushiroad knew that Kyouka had nothing going for her, so they gave her dress up form Graham Grace's skill that forces you to run her base grade 3 form, just to perform 5 to 6 attacks. This is so random that it's pathetic. Stay Awake Caravia while on rear guard during your turn gets 5k power if you played a cursed play order this turn. And once per turn while on rear guard, you can pay 1 discard to add a cursed play card from your drop zone. Depending on what you need, you can trade any cursed play card by turning your drop zone into a toolbox. Cherish Starlight Reshelto when discarded by your card's ability during your turn lets you pay 3 energy if you have a Luticia Vanguard to draw a card. And while in the drop zone, you can pay 1 counter blast when you play a cursed play order this turn to call herself to rear guard and get 5k power. And there goes trying to play pressure in the deck without fighting for energy with this card. On a side note, the illustrator is very cultured by drawing her sideways and showing how busty she is. Retal Lsha is also regarded as Grimoire Retal Luticia. This card can only be ridden from a grade 3 Luticia card. When she's placed on Vanguard, add up to 1 cursed play card from your deck or drop zone. And once per turn while on Vanguard, you can pay 1 counter blast to get all effects depending on the number of cursed play cards in your soul. All your front row units get 10k power. If you have 2 or more, you can pay 1 discard at the end of the battle she attacked to stand herself, but loses 1 drive check if you have 4 or more, and her drive check cannot be reduced if you have 6 or more. The ride restriction is simply there, so you cannot abuse her on your grade 3 ride turn, and forcing you to still run a copy of the original Luticia in your ride line. Her on-place ability makes sure you always have a blitz order ready to defend with, and she turns Nostria into a 35k beat stick, and that's without Persona Ride. She was already good, but that extra 10k power to the front row just breaks this card into tier 1 after release. A little demonic method valor for when placed on rear guard lets you soul charge 1 card, then you can pay 1 counter blast to draw a card. And while on rear guard, she gets 5k power when she attacks a grade 3 or higher unit and your soul has a card with the same name as your Vanguard. Guess Bushiroad needed to fit more triple rare into the set, but made it generic enough, so every deck might want to have a copy. Saving the best for last. Here's Luticia and Kyouka's LSR artworks in their full glory. Luticia proving that she and Thegria have the same cultured illustrator. Meanwhile Kyouka is floating in the water wondering, how can she read her magazines when they could get wet and be ruined? And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you got banned in any online community for talking about the LSR artworks.